Alright, hey, what is up guys? It's Heavy Odin 53. Today we're going to be streaming Torment, Tides of Numenera. Once again, it is me, myself, Heavy Odin 53, playing the game, and my co-commenter, the 1JWP. Say hello. Anyway, today we're streaming Torment, Tides of Numenera, which is a game built on the Pillars of Exile, or Pillars of Eternity gameplay system. Numenera is actually based off a tabletop game created by Monty Cook, and I think affiliated with White Wolf Games, that I've been interested in for a long time. I've never actually ran a campaign in it, but as far as I can tell, they've faithfully implemented the rules of that system in this. And as a special twist today, I am going to be providing the voices for most of the NPCs because most of them are just text. So it's probably going to be... I'd like 2 hours, but I'm probably going to stop when my voice starts to hurt. So I do have a Coke, I've got water available. So let's see how long this lasts. We are going to start a brand new character. I have played this a little bit before. I'm planning on basically building the same character I have in my base game, which is going to be a talking-based character because I like characters that I can talk their way out of shit. So let me take a sip of Coke, and we're going to start. Josh, what are your thoughts going into this? Yeah, it really does. I'm gonna be a guy. 'Cause I'm a guy. Your mind awakes in darkness. Aching cold sets into an unfamiliar body. A distant howling surround. Wait, is they talking? You know what? If they're gonna talk, I'll be quiet.
Insistent and invisible hands slap and tear at the membrane that protects you.
Kinda ruining my whole shtick here, game.
Your first emotion is an involuntary and formless panic. You feel you have forgotten something important.
They're just fucking my shit up, man.
As if it once meant the world to you.
Come in here with a plan.
Details slip away as you grasp at them. You force your eyes open.
I'm gonna look around.
A white pink fleshy cocoon surrounds you. Even as you look, a minor rent in its side tears open, and the howling wind forces its way inside. The cocoon rips away, gone before you can grab it, spinning you into a dizzying tumble. You are falling, the world many kilometers beneath you. You catch a glimpse of a curved horizon, and also the ground beneath you that is approaching deceptively quickly. Above you, a small moon is slowly collapsing in upon itself. A corona of acid green and black energy playing around its edges.
That sounds cool as fuck.
Burns your eyes, but you don't need to see the details of the faraway ground to know you're in serious trouble. You won't survive a fall from this stratospheric height. Part of your frantic mind battles that technically you probably fell from a thermospheric height. You struggle to stay focused as
interesting that I know that. Hey Josh, could you do me a favor? Just make sure that the voice is actually coming through on stream. Sometimes what streams isn't actually what we hear, so I just wanted to double check that from you real quick. Thank you very much. Sounds good, thank you. So I'm going to be on my own for a little bit. Let's flatten out to catch the wind.
Your arms and legs, and they respond sluggishly. You stop tumbling head over heels. Though you are still spinning laterally, that motion has calmed as well. And you have space to assess your situation, and perhaps to understand the predicament and the body in which you find yourself.
So what I sent Josh off to do is just to see if we're actually, you guys are hearing the audio. Because for us, this is currently being voiced, the rest of the game isn't voiced. I have had it happen where what I stream, what I stream, I hear something, but the stream doesn't, because, you know, games can do that. So I'm just having him double check. I am going to keep playing, though. Just letting you guys know that for now. If you aren't hearing anything, and I'm just dead silent, I apologize.
You see a large landmass. A massive ocean dominates the rest of the visible globe, dotted here and there with island chains. Small moons, unusual structures, and strange machines rush past you in glittering profusion as you plummet toward the ground. Now you see that this appears to be a huge megacontinent, the only land of any size on this side of the world at least. Great inland seas and lakes dot the land, and curiously, Regular mountain ranges march up and down and across. You are falling toward what looks to be a great bay, a sprawling city perched on its shore just to the north. Further to the north and east, you see a broad plain scattered with curious structures, visible even from this height. The northeastern portion of this land looks to be a desert, a strange blue dot like an eye in its exact center. It seems to hold a city in its watery grasp. To its west is a ring of huge mountains, surmounted by enormous carved peaks spewing magma into a central catch basin. What concerns you most right now is the bay below you. It's coming at you quickly.
Well, I'm going to say let's try and slow the descent as much as possible, because we don't want to hit it at a...
irony best be named terminal. You spread your arms and legs and try to catch a draft, and it looks like you'll hit the bay that's rushing toward you, unless you hit the building in its littered waters. A strange web of colors surrounds you, thrown by a figure standing on the balcony of the structure. But it is effective only at slowing your fall. You strike the building hard enough to crack its crystalline structure, and you hear one of the engines that supports it protest and howl, and the agony of the crash overcomes you. And then
I'm dead. Is that how this is gonna go? Probably I'm dead. I'm guessing I'm dead. Hey, it's a viewer, unless that's Josh. Oh, sweet. Hello, viewer. How you doing? Ooh. Metal waves roll over the floor below, sending vibration through the soles of your boots. Weird. Interact. There we go. Jumbled thoughts cloud your head as you study the empty bowl before you. Drops of liquid fall from the ceiling, spattering on the ground next to the bowl. The light from every drop is reflected in the bowl's rounded hollow, as if it hungers for that light and needs to be filled. Yet the bowl remains dry. Another drop falls from the ceiling and splashes across the pylons, wasted. So our options are might. Carefully move the bowl beneath the liquid. Examine the bowl or leave the bowl alone. I'm gonna examine it. Gonna check it out. You trace your fingers over the slippery, overlapping scales that spiral up from the bottom of the bowl. The sharp-toothed rim plucks at your skin. It's going to be tricky to move this bowl without slicing your fingers on the edge. You might have to put some effort into it. Reflected light streaks across the surface of the bowl as another droplet falls from the ceiling. Examining the bowl again. I know this. It's not going to do anything for me. Leave the bowl alone or carefully move the bowl under the liquid. We lost our viewer. Viewer, I love you. I'm sorry that you had to leave. You've encountered your first task. You have 3 stat pools, might, speed, and intellect, that you can spend to increase your chances of success. This is called using effort. Continue. To more easily move the bowl in front of you, use left stick to spend might for a higher level of effort. Don't worry if you fail this task. In Torment, failure often results in interesting outcomes. So we're currently at a 60% chance. We can make it 100, or we can stick with 80. 60 is still pretty good, but I want to make it 80 because, well, yeah. Success. You carefully take hold of the bowl, avoiding the teeth in the serrated rim. Sorry. With a deep breath, you move it over the glowing pool of fallen light. I have telekinesis. This is good to know. Drop by drop, the... Go ahead. Okay. Drop by drop, the bowl fills. Ripples spreading over the blurred outline of your reflection. A pale blue luminescence stretches into the corners of the room. A clear radiance spills across the segmented floor, washing away the nearest shadows and pouring into your mind, melting the ragged edges of your fragmented thoughts. You are not whole, not yet, but you have begun to heal from the damage done in your long fall. A voice calls out from somewhere high above, beyond the reaches of the spreading light. So I'm healing pretty fast. is, I think, what I got from that. Hello? Are you still alive down there? We're up here. Build a path. I didn't get to read all of it. Fuck you. Let's go check out... Hello? Do you say something different? I can overturn the bowl. Or I can leave it alone. Yes. When you touch it, you feel a strange tightness in your head and soon discover the bowl is far too heavy to move now. Even the attempt makes your arms ache and temples throb. I'm gonna stop. Something tells me damage is in my future if I do that. As soon as you touch the orb, a memory floods your mind. You stand in front of a rusted door. The air is humid and dank. You've had a moment's respite from this waterlogged hell, a bubble of stale air your resting point. You've breathed water before and you've lived decades beneath the waves, but this body's an air breather, and the constant pressure has been crushing you ever so subtly. Worse, your companion's mind seems to be wandering from the task at hand. He's a genius with machines, as you well know, but now he seems distracted. The device in his hands is covered in knobs, wires, and antennas. He believes it can get the two of you through the corroded door, but he's merely staring at it. Perhaps he's lost faith in his invention, but that is hardly your concern. This mission cannot be delayed. It must proceed. Deceive him by telling him you've heard sounds of pursuit. Threaten him until he turns to the task at hand. This is taking too long. Cast a spell, an esoteric, to fix the device yourself. As much as I'd like magic, kind of feeling the deceitful character. What are you feeling? Alright, we're gonna go with that then. Your words echo clearly, and he looks up, surprised as you cut through his indecisive haze. Your daze. He grimaces and says, Alright, we'll be through the door before they catch up. His fingers make minute adjustments to the knobs and blinking levers of the device, and the stale air of your bubble freshens as the door swings open. A dark hallway lies beyond, a passage that links the water-bordered cells and the aquatic viewing areas. What you seek lies there. Moments later, you're underwater again, your hands closing around a strange yet familiar artifact. You need it to complete something. It hovers above a pedestal, rotating in the dark water. An electric current runs through your fingers as your hand crosses the vertical plane of the pedestal, and an iridescent field coalesces so fast that the wave of pressure dazes you for a moment. The rising pulse of a sonar alarm ripples through the water. The guards won't be far behind. Run, you can come back for it, they won't be able to protect it forever. Disable the sonar pulse, or use the device to stop them. One of the ciphers at your belt. So we've already turned down magic, right? But do we want to be technical or use technical stuff? Josh is fixing his controller. Yeah, if we run, we'll always run. I'm feeling number 3. Alright, number 3 it is. You run urgent fingers over the devices fastened to your waist, a fog rising in your mind. A few can be used against the guards, but will also turn your skin to synth steel or the surrounding water to boiling wax. Hardly ideal. Finally, you find a small silver sphere. Setting the sphere in place, you kick desperately for the safety of a nearby alcove. The sphere whirls and unfolds into a spiraling vortex. The sphere at its center speaks a few polite words in an ancient language, then begins draining the surrounding water into itself with alarming speed. The approaching guards shout, then scream as they, too, are sucked into the whirlpool and ripped to pieces. You allow yourself a fleeting smile, but are all too aware that more alarms are going off in the distance. The memory begins to fade, as if you were being drawn backward through a tunnel, and you hear more pylons rising from the pit. Something is wrong. The events within the orb have settled into that gap in your mind, but the edges of it are rough, as though the memory itself is not truly yours. There's something else. Oh, thank you. A gust of sour air pulling at you like a predator inhaling the scent of its prey at the far end of a dark, whispering field. I love the description is in the game, I gotta be totally honest here. That's what I aspire to do when I run games. Let's look at the doors. The light around the door's frame dims and flares like a roaring wind, fire in a high wind. I swear to God I can read. The mirror looks strange, as though what you see in it is real and you're the reflection. No sign or symbol tells you what might be behind this enormous door. A dull chill radiates from its bronze segmented surface, and the thick metal wheel seems frozen in place. Hello? You stand beside a woman on a verdant crag. Between the two of you is a broad plateau towering above the overgrowth far below. Strange machines have been built into the cliffside, presumably for reconnaissance or defense. A metal disc gleams from the center of the plateau. Your self-aware humanoid machines drill into the base of the cliffs below. If you were looking for a sanctuary, and you were, desperately, this seems like the right place. I don't know about this. Oh, it's a woman. I'll try. I don't know about this, the woman says, her voice flat. I fucked up. Can I do a flat, neutral woman's voice? Time to find out. I don't know about this, the woman says, her voice flat, neutral. Her face is turned away from you. What makes this place any more secure than the other ones we've found? So our options are: draw her attention to the hidden details that your more experienced eye can clearly see. Use your charm to persuade her of the merits of the site and to remind her of the time constraints, or convince her with the wisdom of your superior intellect. I'm gonna go with charm. I like charm. A cloud passes over the sun as you engage her in spirited, friendly debate, pointing out the footprint of a prior world civilization whose power remains untapped. After a few minutes, she laughs, raising her hands in mock surrender. Stop! Stop! Your servitors are down there. You've already chosen this as the site, haven't you? She waits for your affirmation and says, all right, I'm convinced. The two of you sketch your plans for the sanctuary, drawing schematics and architectural diagrams. Then you descend onto the plateau to examine the open ground. The woman suggests having one of the servitors build a shelter for your time here. You try to draw one of the constructs away from its task, but it doesn't respond to your voice. When you lay a hand on its shoulder to reinforce your command, it whirls and strikes you across the face with inhuman speed. It turns back to its task, ignoring you. Your companion helps you rise, laughter in her eyes. It seems your construct has other ideas. What's the matter with it? Our options are to use the Numenera integrated in the construct's body to overwhelm the behavior malfunction, examine the construct for mechanical faults, or look for a deeper solution. Perhaps it's an effect of the metal disc itself. I'm feeling 2 or 3. Engineering or observation. A mist falls onto the plateau as you wrap a fiber shielding mesh around the construct's skull. The mesh powers up, protecting the construct's mind from any trans-dimensional emissions that might be in the area. Taking a deep breath, you repeat your command. Acknowledged. It obediently trundles to the site of your new shelter. The image freezes, then fades, and you feel the memory filling the gap in your mind, block by jagged block. You stagger, clutching your head. Reclaiming your memories hurts. And once more, there's something else. Hairs lift one by one on the back of your neck. Something beyond this room can sense what you are doing, and is hunting you. That's bad. Gonna say it. That's bad. Another orb! But a door. Let's look at the door. Countless scratches and wounds mar the surface of this door. Something made a great effort to get inside. To no avail. It's a good door. A vision of a city springs up around you. Your city, in flames and under attack. Her defenders have fought and died all day, and still the attackers keep coming. They fight as if your destruction were demanded of them. They care nothing for mercy, surrender, or plunder. What they want is blood. But you have brought a keen-eyed companion to the top of the tower. She has seen the way to stop the invaders. You need to get her to safety, and you need to rally your defenders. But even as you turn toward the door of the tower, 2 of the attackers descend from a hovering machine. You don't have time to strike at them before they land. One is brutishly large, his weapon a vibrating axe. The other is slim, sheathed in glassy armor, and holding a hilt with a sizzling invisible blade. Your companion backs away. She's too young to help. Your enemies advance, a single file, confined by the parapet. So our options are to trade blows with the giant. You can handle it for a strike or 2. No. Duck under the giant's swing and attack before you can strike. I like it. Fight defensively and figure out who represents the bigger threat. It's yeah, I'm feeling 2. You roll into the blurring arc of his axe. He's overconfident, testing you without committing to the attack. Yes, he's fast, but not as fast as you are. And when he raises the great axe above his head to finish you, you're able to bury your blade under his breastplate. The blade emerges from the back of his neck, and his life's blood washes over your hands. He falls, taking your weapon with him, and his companion attacks. Her invisible blade is far more lethal than the giant's axe. You duck as she thrusts at you, and the wall behind you hisses, destroyed. Her return swing cuts through your armor, ruining your breastplate. She doesn't have to be skilled with a weapon like that. She just has to make contact. You time your attack just as she pulls it back for another strike. You barrel into her, driving her over the wall, and she drops screaming to the ground 50 meters below. The immediate threat ended. You focus on finding a way back to your allies. You open the tower door and rush down the stairs. The door at the base of the stairs is slightly cracked, opening just a bit into the hall, and you hear more of the enemy soldiers beyond. Hurl yourself against the door and knock them to the ground. Crack the door open to sneak past them or charge through them, counting on your defenses to protect you. Near as I can tell, I have no defenses. Hurling myself against the door entirely depends on someone being near the door, so I think crack the door. You press yourself against the gleaming door, easing it open, and your breath catches in your throat as it squeaks quietly, the sound like a bell in your memory. You pause, but the soldiers in the hall continue to talk. You push again, squeeze yourself through the narrow opening, and creep down the blood-stained hall. The memory begins to fade, and you find yourself back in your own body. Your temples throb with the raging force of your heartbeat, or racing, apparently, and the reclaimed memories blaze within you, like a bonfire on a mountain peak, visible to every predator for kilometers around. A tremor rocks the floor beneath you, as though a massive fist has struck the room itself. Swaying on your feet, you see frantic movement within the borders of a mirror at the edge of the room. Mirrors are always a good thing, right? Mirrors are always positive. It doesn't look broken, I can see myself. The border of this mirror is lavishly decorated with a dizzying number of interlocked symbols, daggers, masks, paintbrushes, amulets, and more. But that's nothing compared to what you see in the glass. You see a vast crowd of people, exact doppelgangers of you, shoving, arguing with, and fighting each other. Most are drab imitations of you, but a precious few are vivid and pull at your attention. Each of them bears an intricate pentagonal tattoo on their head. In their eyes, their actions, you see the memories you have discovered within the orbs, and the choices you made shining like distant stars. Your hand twitches at your side, and though some of the bright doppelgangers ignore you, an even smaller number immediately turn to you, waiting for you to choose them and learn what you might become. A rumble shakes the room, and a slow vibration spreads from the darkness below, rippling towards the ceiling. Point at the doppelganger with the charming smile. Y'all know that I like charm. Point at the doppelganger with the clever eyes. Point at the doppelganger with the mystical symbol on its brow. Or point at the doppelganger moving stealthily through the crowd. Or we can step away. I say charm. No, charm. Always go charm. Why go stealth if you can talk your way out? Because it's less fun. The doppelganger swaggers out of the crowd, speaking in a warm, sincere voice. It tells you an outrageous story punctuated with confidential asides, empathetic gestures, and twists that defy your every expectation. Though you're almost certain that this tale is packed with lies, you'd be hard-pressed to separate them from the truth. The doppelganger finishes its story with a flourish and waits for your decision. Yes, that is who I am, or I want to consider the other choices. Nah, charm. Balls deep. The remaining doppelgangers scatter for the edges of the mirror and vanish. Your chosen identity steps forward. Its appearance changes as it steps out of the rippling glass. Its face reflects confidence and cleverness. Shadows of weapons flicker in and out of its hand, and a few devices shimmer on its belt. You get the feeling you, would be comfortable in a variety of situations. The word Jack sounds in your mind. Gain descriptor, charming. So apparently I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. I'm eating, so I'm not going to talk. Nah, I got it. Your doppelganger continues walking, stepping into you, filling you and making you whole. Your decision rings out into the cavernous room, awakening and unlocking vast mechanisms behind the walls. Suddenly a grotesque noise rings through your shared worlds like a bell, if bells could rot. Excuse me, something is coming. We got a might pull back, that's probably good. The mirror fades, leaving a dark open doorway. You take a deep breath and step through. Alright, your choices and the memories of the mirror have begun to build your character, but now you have an opportunity to decide on a number of details. First, you can decide to change your type. Type defines the abilities and skills you'll be able to acquire as you advance. Alright? So it's Glaive, which is basically warriors, jacks are nanos. Nanos are basically wizards, jacks are like bards, thieves, rogues, etc. So, jacks are intrepid explorers and adventurers. They are jacks of all trades, hence the name, although the word also harkens back to fables involving a wily, resourceful hero who always seems to be named Jack. Jacks are at their best when they combine weapons, armor, esoteric ciphers, and a clever tongue. They are treasure hunters, grifters, scalds, rogues, and experts in a variety of fields. I like the sound of that. That makes it sound like a very good character who will be easy to work with, so I'm just going to stick with that. Oh. Stat pools are the resources you use to apply effort or activate abilities. You can distribute points as you see fit. Glaives tend to favor might and or speed, while nanos favor intellect. Jacks usually benefit from a balanced set of points. So right now we're at 554. Yeah. Yep, let's go straight Satan. So speed is dexterity and reaction, physical strength and resilience, personality. So I want more intellect, because I'm mainly going for personality on this. But I think I'm going to go 5, 6, 7. I don't want to be Satan. This is true. Abilities unlocked by your type can be active actions, such as attacks or spell-like esoteries, or unique passive effects. So I can get 2 of these. Hedge Magic, trained without armor. Sucker Punch, practiced in armor. Or Infused Weapon. I'm thinking without armor and Sucker Punch. Yeah, trained without armor and Sucker Punch. Character creation. Most skills increase your chance of success on English, work with me, on specific kinds of actions and tasks, but some give other passive bonuses. Each skill starts at the novice level and can be increased to trained and specialized, granting greater bonuses at each level. Descriptors will leave some skills at the inability level. meaning that they inflict penalties. When upgraded, these return to the novice level. Right now, my only inability is heavy weapons, which I tend to run in more third-person games. Like, I tend to run that in Dragon Age. But in an ISO game like this, I don't use them as much, because I prefer to attack a lot quickly. So, no, I don't want to disable them. Yes. I only get 1 point? Fuck. Alright. Deception or persuasion? No, that's because I put a point in it. I can move a single point around. I think perception. I'm gonna drop that in perception. I don't get a weapon skill. That's fine. I accept that. Descriptor. Although you chose your descriptor from among the many doppelgangers in the mirror, you now have the chance to review specific bonuses and penalties it grants. You can also examine the effects of other descriptors and choose a new one if you wish. So, I'm sticking with Charmer. That's weird. Charming drops my intellect pool, but personality-based traits are in intellect. What's clever do? +2 to my intellect pool. But I lose out on machinery and mystical. Even though I'm clever. But I get to fool people. And I'd lose out on my persuasion. I think I might stick with that. I think I actually like that. I mean, look how much fucking intellect I have. This grants me an extra 2. Charming actually took 1 from me. So I just went up by 3. So yeah, I'll stick with clever. Yeah, so we're gonna be a clever Jack who works in perception and deception with Sucker Punch and comfortable in no armor, who is just the smartest motherfucker you've ever seen. The Spectre. Everything about this spectral figure seems dreamlike. He is a hazy silhouette who seems to be made of blue glass smoke. He wears stylish, well-cut clothes. His handsome, bearded face seems hauntingly familiar, though you've never seen him before. He breathes a sigh of relief when he sees you. We weren't sure that would work. We pooled our strength and channeled it through me to reach you, to wake you up. He glances at the other figures here and frowns unhappily. It took more out of them than we thought. The other reflections, they're more like shadows now. Look, I'll bet you've got a lot of questions. This whole place is basically your mind. Your body's still out there in the real world healing from that fall. You need to get out there and finish the process. He shrugs. It shouldn't be too hard. So my options are, before I met you, it felt like something was hunting me. Do you know what it was? You had to finish the process. You know what? I'm just probably going to go through, like, all of these. I'm just going to start with, let's start with whatever's hunting me. That sounds like a good choice. The Spectre. He closes his... Oh, wait. Why did I... Okay. He closes his eyes. That's a memory I don't want to recall. Large... black, furious. It's our death. It's the sorrow. He closes his eyes. I hope it's lost interest in you. If it finds us, we're done for. Let's just keep going. You said I had to finish the process. What do you mean by that? After you wake from this dream state and attune to the tides, you'll need to find something called a resonance chamber. Your body should have landed somewhere near it. Just climb inside that, and everything will be fine. What do you mean attune to the tides? Tides are like a force. Do they flow through us? Like gravity or magnetism or something. Except they respond to people's actions and perceptions. Your body, that is, your body in the real world, needs the tides to survive. It's not something you need to worry about. Your body will attune as it wakes up. What's a resonance chamber? I remember pieces about it, but not the whole. It's a crystal sarcophagus. I remember it having 5 mechanical arms around it and a metal ring set in the floor. I think we were aiming for it when it fell. When you open your eyes in the real world, it should be nearby. What do I want to ask next? Let's ask. Are you single? Let's see. Who are those other people? If this is my mind, I don't remember any of this. Who are you? You're a piece of... I know... These questions are stupid. How do you know all this? All that you're telling me? He's me. Duh. How do I get back to the real world? Important questions are important. There's a portal down there. It'll take you back to your body. Just step through it and the whole tides thing should take care of itself. He crosses his arms. When you wake up, find the resonance chamber and activate it. Then we can... What in the hells is that? Probably bad shit. Oh shit, I hate when I'm right. The sorrow is anchored to those reflections. It's devouring their power. Why do they have power? That's my question. Why do they have power? And what the fuck is that weird tentacle monster motherfucking thing? We have to get rid of them. Destroy its anchors or else the sorrow will erase us forever. Oh, it's called a crisis. A crisis begins when you enter into a dangerous situation. Crises are turn-based encounters, yay, where you can fight, sneak, manipulate the environment, or talk your way out of trouble. No, totally. That thing's got a dick. I can suck it. Each turn you take one action to attack or activate an ability. You can also make one move. The reflection near you. Kill it! You'll loosen the sorrow's anchor. So I just get a... Is this suicide? Am I killing myself? I'm gonna be a sociopath when I get out of this, aren't I? Effort can be applied to attacks to increase your chance to hit. As with other tasks, each level of effort increases your chances by 20% at the cost of 1 point from your stat pool. Unarmed attacks use speed, but other weapons and abilities may use might or intellect instead. So 85%. That's almost a guarantee, I think. So let's just hit it. That's not good. Gonna go get the shiny thing. I can't kill it. Oh, wait. Increasing effort deals damage. Increases damage too? That's not what I wanted to do. I needed to buff my damage. But I didn't buff it. Which means that I'm probably going to get more mentally destroyed. So I can see how much damage I'm going to deal at any given time. It's infecting it somehow. No shit, that thing is like probably cancer. It's giving it a fettle, which is this game's version of a status effect. I wanna pick that thing up. Yes. To activate an item, use right trigger to bring up your item's radio menu. Press A to select it. Highlight your target with the reticle and press A again. I have a badass looking weapon now. I mean, it also kind of just looks like it's a piece of broken glass, but... Oh, I can throw it? Good thing I got brain experience now. That thing left eggs in my head. You pried it loose. That thing is a cancer, an infection. It's unstoppable, but you stopped it. Man, why are you talking shit about my buddy Matt? He holds his head in his hands. I can't believe it found us. In here. This is my head, right? It's hunting for me. I don't get it. He looks at you, terror in his eyes. That thing, the sorrow, it's been hunting you. It's what killed you in the first place. It'll keep hunting you until you activate the resonance chamber. I didn't remember until I saw it, but that's why the chamber is so important. You'll have to get back and activate the chamber before it's too late. The portal to your body is that shimmering dome there. Go! Now! Whee!
Where did he fall from? His body's smashed to talc. It's a wonder he's still breathing.
All I saw was the corona, not his origin point. But look, he's healing already. Spontaneous regeneration.
He knows my face. That's probably not good. Ugh. What was that? What did you do, Calestige? His tone has become accusatory, suspicious. You open your eyes. The first thing you notice is the man's kaleidoscope of tattoos, writhing across his forearms. He wears a long, dark coat, belted at the waist, supplies filling the pockets. His boots are worn, stained with years of travel. You blame me? He emitted an internal physiological reaction in response to the fall, probably related to that fantastic healing process. Obviously, Alagern. Her voice rolls and hisses. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to, do that. I have human vocal cords. And you have to rub your eyes to be sure that you're not seeing double. Faint echoes of her actions trail from her, each nearly mimicking her, though some act and react to stimuli you can't perceive. Her vivid hair and the outrageous clothing remain constant through these shadows. Oh yes, it's obvious, Calestige. His voice is grim and clipped, then he sees you looking at him. You're no ordinary mortal, we know that much. Start talking. His voice is hard and set. He's pissed. I'm no ordinary mortal? What do you mean? Who are you? Where am I? How did I get here? Was I dead? Yes, always go for the amnesic approach. Where am I? How did I get here? You built the dome. Don't you recognize it? He growls. I think I'm getting a good growl. You know he's not the changing god, Alagern. It says that you hiss. I can't hiss. I'm not going to try to hiss. That's weird. It's his face. I've never seen any other people rebuild themselves like that. Only the changing god could have healed so quickly. He sighs and rubs his face, trying to regain his composure. Maybe you could help me for a change. You know what this means to me. You're familiar with the word changing, Alagern. It implies inconstancy. Thus, the changing god may well have changed. Several versions of her shrug, and she addresses you. You'll have to forgive him. He believes you're someone he once knew, even though it's painfully obvious to anyone that you're newly born. Her most solid self curtsies, while others bow or spin. I, and my sisters, am Calestige. This is Alagern. We are explorers, knowledge seekers. That's how we came to be in this room. If I'm not mistaken, you are what we call a cast-off. Oh, nope. What the fuck did I do? The changing God created you, body and mind. Your sire used your body for a time, then abandoned it for reasons of his own. When his mind departed for a new experience, you were born in his cast-off shell. So that just answers way more questions that I don't really want to ask. I'm not going to mention... I was born when the changing God left, why am I not dead? Because you're not. Are there any other cast-offs? Probably. Who is the changing God? They sound pissed at him. Let's not ask that. Where are we? What is this place? They told us it's the sarcophagus. Let's not share our inner monologue. If falling from the sky didn't kill me, is there anything that can't? Yes. Get your powers under control. An excellent question. Having seen your regenerative abilities in action, I suspect that they are primarily physical, a regrowth. If that's the case, you'd be unable to survive most varieties of psychic or molecular decomposition, disintegration, conflagration, and so forth. Degenerative diseases could pose a problem, and I know of several entities capable of psychic destruction. As she speaks, a vision flashes into your mind. It's not yours, exactly. Somehow you know this is the memory of the changing gods. You are in a dark room lit by a myriad of blinking lights and holograms from the many machines surrounding you. What about a body that can withstand the sorrow's attacks? Says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply. The thing has no respect for barriers of any kind. Physical, temporal, psychic. This is the only way. Who's the other fuck? With a series of gestures, you bring up an image of a crystalline pod. If the resonance chamber works, it will give us the power to stop the sorrow's hunt once and for all. We just need the right focal point. A catalyst. The memory phased. Calestige is still talking, so we've been ignoring her this whole time. Great. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. It looks just like the Spectre had described it. A transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome, with mechanical arms arrayed around it on a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered, the sarcophagus is cracked, and one of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. Or flesh-eating viruses. One presumes disfigurement by the iron wind would likewise be devastating enough to... I think he gets the point, Calestige. Again, let's not share the inner monologues. Do either of you know anything about the sorrow? Where are we? What is this place? We've already these questions are approached. No. Fix the crystal chamber. Allegern chuckles. Then firm and certain he says, not likely. Though it might not be impossible. You need people with the appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of the changing god will have the answer. Calestige, her distaste is evident in the expressions of her echoes, although the face of the one in the lead remains carefully impassive. You turn to the insane to help a newborn. Where's your judge, Allegern? I would take him to the Order of Truth. The Order of Truth? Are you mad? They would sooner take us apart. These questions are all good. So we're going to start with Order of Truth. Let's just go down. Knowledge seek... Oh, wait, no, this is Calestige. Knowledge seekers. The learned who try to wrest seek... I can't... Did I give her a British accent before? I've already forgotten. I'm not going to anymore. The learned who try to wrest secrets from the hearts of prior worlds. They gather in the city to exchange their findings and help humanity to build a brighter future. She smiles brightly. Our friend Allegern here was once one of them. Frauds, quacksalvers, and charlatans. They don't have all the answers, and I'd not trust them with the changing god's secrets. You're just angry that they couldn't help you with yours. Her echoes tinkle laughter. But I am being too cruel, dear Allegern. Let us take our new friend to the Order. Okay, I think, like, I'm sensing, like, Slytherin versus Gryffindor here. What's the cult of the changing god? Despite what she says, they're not insane. They're eccentrics. She laughs, but he soldiers on. They're worshippers of, well, of you or your sire, the changing god. They devote their lives to understanding your kind. Take me to one of them? I can just fuck off on my own. Might be good. Both of you seem kind of annoying. But you're probably very useful for, like, a combat situation that I'd have to deal with. You're probably a mage, you're probably a warrior, or I'm sorry, a glaive and a nano. I'm a jack. Oh, she's gonna take us back. I'm gonna go with crazy cultist, generally bad. Order of Truth. It sounds Templar-y. But Allegern came out of it just fine. Calistes, will you take me to the Order of Truth? Of course! Once I provide an introduction to the priest, I'm sorry, we'll have your chamber fixed in no... I get a chamber? What the fuck? You'll end up without your clothes and broken in a ditch while she laughs it off as a good experiment. It's probably best that I come with you as well. Aw, you just want friendship. Suspicious as always, Allegern. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it's full of dangers. Rest assured, one of us will get you safely to where you need to be. I'll be right behind you. A sunny smile crossed her face. I'm uncomfortable, but, sure, let's go. You've gained your first companions. They will follow the last cast-off and can be controlled during a crisis. You can speak to them about their past and take advantage of their unique abilities and skills. Companions have their own motivations and personalities, and depending on the choices you make, they might not follow you forever. You will find more companions who can join you as you travel through the Ninth World. Take this opportunity to explore your surroundings. You may find items, equipment, and more to assist you. When you are ready, you can leave the broken dome using stairs to the northeast. Well. A mechanical arm lies on the floor, presumably broken during your fall. Sparks pour from the arm's shattered housing, filling the air with a greasy stench. Examine the housing. The sharply pointed apparatus that formerly topped the device appears burnt out and useless, but the equipment in the base remains at least somewhat operational, and the constant stream of sizzling motes can attest. I don't have either of those, but I am actually bad at lore machinery. Maybe one of these guys is good at lore machinery. If you select their portal in the portrait in the effort window, they can do it instead, basically. So, yeah, I'm garbage. He's trained, she's not. So we're gonna want this boy to do it. 75%'s a good chance, so sure. Taking care to avoid the sparks, you extract several handfuls of shiny trinkets and coin-like objects. What the fuck? Why is there money? You recognize their value at once. Such objects would be accepted as shins, the informal currency in most regions of the world, like legs. So you gather them up and take them with you. We gained a spray flesh and 19 shins. Sunlight falls through the ragged hole in the roof onto the shattered residence chamber. It's hard to believe that you did this, as you plummeted through the curve of the pale blue sky, crashed through the dome, and broke this delicate machine with your own body. It's hard to believe you're still alive. 4 mechanical arms hang over the center of the device, above the cracked, semi-transparent crystal of the sarcophagus. The 5th arm lies broken on the floor among the scattered synth and crystal shards, and a metal ring surrounds the array, dented and broken by your impact crater. My voice is starting to hurt. We're probably going to end it at like an hour mark. I haven't talked this much in a while. The padded interior beneath the coffin's cracked lid looks like it was made for a human body. Despite the damage, you can't see a way to open it and get inside. You glance between the sarcophagus and the needle-like protrusions at the ends of the arms above. It seems likely that this chamber would not be a pleasant experience. Cables run from machines along the dome's walls to the base of the unsuspended arms, each of which is capped with long needles, aimed at the cracked, coffin-like chamber at the center of the platform. Gem-like lights flicker dimly at the bases of the arms. Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near this. Metal ring. You feel the slightest hint of resistance every time you cross the ring, and now that you're paying attention, you note that your breath is echoing in your ears as though you were inside a glass dome. When you step outside the ring, the feeling passes, so it's like a safe space. Inspect the shards on the ground. Jagged fragments of crystal are intermingled with synth from the shattered dome above. The crystal shards glitter in the light like captive suns. My perception skill procced. A faint scratching sound draws your attention to two crystalline chunks near your feet. As you watch, they tumble gently into each other and meld, their disparate unities flowing together like water. After a moment, they part again, trailing shining threads of living crystal. It seems that the resonance chamber can heal from certain wounds, but not from the amount of damage that you've done to it. Take a crystal shard. Ooh, I got a knife. Find a sliver of crystal, sharp as a dagger on one end and smooth on the other. It might be usable if somewhat crude weapon. Alright, that's going to be all that we need from this device. No. A lot is an exaggeration. Take all. A slate black, unimpressive device hunkers before you. As you reach out to touch it, the triangles of lights on its casing blazes into life, and an image unfolds in your mind. A towering crystal arch ridges above a jagged gray landscape. The air is dead and stifling, and there at its emerald peak, the image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular array of lights. Command me, the voice, or the intelligence behind it, says, each word carefully etched with distaste. Who are you? Your command was not understood, the intelligence says with clear satisfaction. Oh wait, so... Let me rephrase that. Your command was not understood. Sounding for all the world like it understood the question, but was choosing not to answer. Command me. What was that arch you showed me? Your command was not understood. The intelligence chuckles, its light pulsing. Command me. What commands do you recognize? The three lights throb irritably. Heated air sighs from the device's vents, and then a towering list of commands races through your mind, far too fast to read. You rub your eyes, groaning, and the intelligence chortles. Command me, it says smugly. Smashing's not going to help. Show me the list of commands again, slower please. If anything, the list pours through your mind even faster than the last time. Command me, the intelligence drawls. Show me that arch again. The device's triangle of lights throb in time with the growl of the engines within its casing, and the mental image unfolds once more. You see a huge crystalline arch on a jagged field. The arch is divided into rectangular cells, all of which are numbered, and they all appear to be transparent and empty, except the arch's pinnacle. One cell is lit in a brilliant pulsating emerald. The number 0 is printed on the side. Anamnesis. Try to remember more details. Examine the jagged wasteland. Close the image of the arch. Let's try to proc the skill that I know nothing about. Base 80? Failed! No. Failure. You scan the arch, the landscape, and for a moment you almost grasp the memory. You hear a dry voice speaking command, but the buzzing hum of the end. Oh, fucking fuck. Jagged wasteland, nothing really important. Close the image. Command me. Examine the outside of the device. An indignant hum. Nothing's out of the ordinary. Show me the arch again. Show me the Carfax. Fuck. Fucker. Fuck. You get a good item too. So I want to smash the shit out of this device. So I'm gonna really make sure that it takes it. The intelligence's lights flutter in alarm just before your foot smashes into the base of the device. Something within goes crunch. Cell gating damaged, it gasps. The trio of lights focusing on you with blinding intensity. All prisoners lost. Shuddering Lugum Vo. A hatch springs open near the dent left by your foot, and the lights flicker off as you claim a hissing component from the device's smoking interior. Gained item, View Shard. You planning on breaking every machine in here? Yes. No. But yes. Rough.
I need to talk to you.
Yeah, with that, we will save the game. Might play some more of this later. And yeah, we're going to call that a day, at least for this game. We might stream something later, maybe on PC. But for now, that's going to be all, viewers. I hope you all have a great night, and I appreciate the fuck out of all of you.